are back with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So it looks like I'll be doing my first Jiu Jitsu tournament on the 15th of October. Could be my first and last. 15th of October, 2 days before my birthday. So I spoke to the coach yesterday and I was like, look, I'm thinking about entering the tournament. And what I thought he was going to say to me is like, I think you should enter like blue belt or purple belt. I think you're ready. You're one of the greatest BJJ students I've ever had. I'm only 85% joking there. So I said to him, I'm just wondering what division I should go in. And he made me jump on the scales with my gi, and I was 83 kilos, which means I'm about 80.5 kilos. I actually weighed myself the other day fucking nude and I was 79.5. So he was like, you should go in the 82 kilogram division. So I'd have to lose another kilo somehow. I'll do it. Protein, who gives a shit? But I said to him, I'm like, what age division? And he's like, how old are you? And I told him, he's like, all right, you're in the Masters 2. And I'm like, the thing is, in Masters 2, there's no 82 kilogram fucking division. There's only 86 kilograms. And he's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I had a good look. But in the adults division, which is 18 to 30, there is an 82 kilogram class. And even if you are an old cunt, you can go down. You can go down in age and up in weight. So I said to him, I'm like, there is an 82 kilogram division in the adult sort of fucking like open thing. He's like, how old are you again? And I told him, and he's like, no, you do Masters too. There's fucking adult, there's Masters, and there's Masters 2. I don't even know if there's Masters 3. I'll fucking cross that bridge when I get there. Honestly, I was expecting him to go, I've seen you on the mats, mate. I've watched you throw around those big fucking rugby player young cunts. Why not jump in there with the fucking young fish? Get in there, kid. But he was emphatic that I go with the other old cunts. He's like, if you win, when you win, that's what he said. He's like, when you win Masters 2, then the next tournament, go down to Masters 1. And then if you win that, then you go into the adults, all right? I'm like, that's a pretty good point, actually. I'm glad I fucking took that advice. But I don't want to be giving up fucking 6 kilos to these other old cunts. 6 kilos is a fair bit. So if there's no 82 division, I'm just going to have to pump on some fucking weight. No, I'll just stay slim. So it looks like it's happening. It looks like the Boyle is becoming a fucking BJJ competitor. I'll enter myself into the spring fucking carnival today or tomorrow. You're going to get some fucking footage of that on the Patreon. Don't worry about that unless I lose badly first round. Actually, if I lose badly first round, 110 it's going on the Patreon. Anyway, Canadians, if you're out there, we've got both fucking shows on sale now. Vancouver and Toronto are on sale. Now, it's going to fucking be a cunt not being able to reach everyone because I can't fucking advertise. So, if you're there, snap up some tickets, bring some friends, do whatever you need to do. I'll be there. What I'm going to do is from now until fucking December 6th and 8th, Vancouver, December 6th, Toronto, December 8th. I'm just going to leave the link, the ticket link, in the description of the podcast. So just scroll down in the podcast, wherever you are, Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, fucking Audible, wherever the fuck you listen to it. So if you're in Canada and you want to come see Le Boyle Le Live, then follow the link. Anyway, it's Boyle Breaks history time. So this week I've been mulling over the news because I watch the mainstream media news every now and then, maybe 2 or 3 times a week now. up from 0 because I just want to see what agendas they're pushing. And at the moment, it's always the same. It's this yes vote. I am always fucking suspicious once they start throwing the full marketing and propaganda machine behind whatever they want to do. So this yes vote, we're having a referendum for the Aboriginal people to recognize them in I'm going to say the Constitution. I don't know. I've literally not paid any attention. Or there's something else to it as well. I think they're setting up a voice panel where the government has to fucking ask the Aboriginal voice panel for recommendations or something like that. It's a big fucking scam. It's 110 going to be a big scam. But as you can tell, I am extremely uninformed about it. And I don't vote anyway, so it's got nothing to do with me. I've never voted, even though it's compulsory. I've never voted in national or state elections or referendums. And I'll stick by that. So that's one of the big things going on in the media. And what else? Climate change. Jesus Christ, they are just fucking pumping climate change. It's crazy. Everything you do is adding to climate change. And we're basically dead. We're fucked. So they'll eventually tax the shit out of us to help climate change or whatever. So there's those two things. No one's mentioning the absolute meltdown in fucking treasuries in the US. The 10-year treasury has spiked to fucking almost 5%, which is fucking as high as it's been since 2007. Not much mention of that. And if they do mention it, it's like fucking for a brief second and it's like, it's all cool. There's not a problem there. Obviously, Trump is getting smashed as well. Even in Australia, Trump's never out of the news. So you're just looking at this and you're like, fucking, when are they doing some real fucking journalism? And so I started thinking, I'm like, well, fucking, if all news is propaganda, what the fuck is journalism now? Why did we have journalism in the first place? What was the reason? And it turns out that journalism is actually more important than you fucking think. Journalism and a free and open press is actually one of the most important pillars of democracy. You can't have a democracy without a free and open press. And nothing you see in the mainstream media is free or open. Just look at it. It is controlled propaganda narrative. The only thing that is pseudo-free and open is the alternative media on the internet, shit you're finding on the internet. And one of the consequences of having a free and open press, especially in the internet age, is basically there is so much variety. There's so much different information coming at you at one time. So the individual has to draw their own conclusions on what they believe is going on in the world. And that takes a lot of the power away from the mainstream media, the propaganda machine. And as you can see, what they're trying to do is they're trying to shut down as many of these alternate voices as they can because they begin losing control of the narrative, basically. You can see it with everyone. Russell Brand, David Icke, fucking London Real. They tried to crush Joe Rogan. Tucker Carlson got ripped off the air. Tucker Carlson is probably the most interesting journalist in the world at the moment. He is doing the best fucking interviews. They're so fucking good. Anyway, that was a long fucking prelude into the reasons why, and this is what the Boyle Breaks history is this week, the reasons we need and the vital importance of a free and open press. So it's really fucking important. When I say it's a cornerstone to democracy, it fucking really is. And it holds fucking government accountable. So that's basically one of its biggest fucking roles, is to hold government accountable. Not just government, businesses, institutions, individuals in positions of power, fucking the lot. Because when those cunts aren't held accountable, like they haven't been for many, many years now, they start going fucking wild because what's the saying? Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when no one is reporting on the corruption, these cunts get a free pass, basically. And it's not even so much, it's more complex than that now because people are reporting on the corruption, but the fucking machine is so fucking powerful at the moment and the distractions are so fucking constant that even if it's reported on, people are just saturated with fucking inputs that they can't even emotionally connect to the corruption. It's fucked at the moment. We're in big fucking trouble. So accountability and transparency is obviously one part of the free and open press. It's also meant to, and it fucking hasn't done this in a while, it's meant to nurture a well-informed citizenry, which it doesn't. It's meant to protect human rights. I'll tell you what I saw on the news the other day. It was on Australian government-funded news. It was a fucking like fluff piece of the Uyghurs in China. I couldn't fucking believe it. They went to wherever the fuck the Uyghurs are from in China and they went around, started speaking to the Uyghurs and the Uyghurs were like, things are good now, and like they're still shaking from the torture. They're like, I now know that my extreme religious views were dangerous for the country and like full PTSD. And they were like, yeah, the Chinese did some bad stuff here, but it's all good now. And this area has become a fucking Chinese tourist attraction. And all the mosques and shit like that are like now fucking tourist traps. So they're going through Uyghurville. And if you don't know who the Uyghurs are, they're the Muslim Chinese that the fucking Chinese basically killed most of them. Put them in internment camps and fucking tortured them until they forgot about Allah. So yeah, on Australian TV, Uyghur, wherever the fuck it is basically like Chinese Disneyland now. It was a wild fucking news story. I couldn't fucking believe it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, well-informed citizenry. That's what journalism's meant to fucking provide. Protection of human rights. Obviously, you know that's not going on after I just told you about the Uyghur story. Checks and balances. This is a fucking massive one. So journalism and a free and open press, it's meant to complement other branches of government. Basically, let's just fucking cut the bullshit here. Basically, a fucking free and open press is the only way to stop fucking cunts doing fucking fucked up shit. Alright? If you don't have a free and open press reporting on corruption, government corruption, corporate corruption, any corruption, and holding these cunts accountable, then everything falls apart pretty fucking quickly and you're basically living in a totalitarian state. That's not even an exaggeration. When the narrative is constantly controlled, it becomes propaganda. And if you're not allowed to fucking even enter in a counter narrative, then you're not living in a democracy. And that is rapidly happening. Well, it's fucking very rapidly happening in Canada with their new podcasting law restrictions that Trudeau fucking brought in. We're living in very dangerous, precarious fucking times here. And I think what fucking is going to do everyone in, just like it did during COVID, is apathy. I just think people are fucking at saturation point with what they can fucking care about. I don't think fucking anyone can care anymore. It's a big fucking problem. But we need a free and open press. That's what all this is about. If you don't have that, you just have a propaganda machine controlling narrative, controlling everything. The people in power become corrupt. They're allowed to be corrupt. And it just fucking flows by. I mean, Fauci
lied directly in front of Congress and it never entered the fucking mainstream media. It's wild. We live in wild times. Anyway, that was a long one. That'll do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around and I'll see you the fuck later.